What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
Gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away. Can't get no rest. Work all day. When will I learn?
Welcome to FootballGamePlan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2015 NFL Draft Special for the Miami Dolphins. We're going inside the war room to take a look at the Dolphins' team needs to see what players could be possible selections to help fill those needs. But first, let's take a look at the upcoming picks the Dolphins have in this year's draft.
First, let's take a look at the mock draft rules. Number one, these picks are based off what I would do as the GM of the football team and what I believe the team needs are. And second, these rankings are my own personal rankings, which you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/NFL draft. And this is not indicative of where I think these guys will actually go in April's draft. First, let's take a look at the needs of the Miami Dolphins this year. I believe they have to attack the draft and find a true Sam backer, a guy that can start from day one and have an immediate impact. I also think they need a wide receiver, a guy that can play the number 1 or number 2 slot on their offense. And I also believe they need depth at the cornerback position and also along the offensive line. The way this mock draft fell for the Miami Dolphins, being able to get Dante Fowler out of Florida with their first-round pick would be a huge get. This is a guy I believe is the best Sam backer in this year's draft class. He's not the pass rusher that he's being made out to be, but as a guy that can play over the tight end, hold his own at the point of attack, and can get to the quarterback, I think you look at a complete Sam backer in Fowler, and I think he would start from day one for Miami. With their second-round pick, I went with Vince Mayle out of Washington State, a guy I compared to Brandon Marshall and what he can bring to the table going over the middle of the field as far as those underneath routes are concerned. And those in-breaking routes, I think he excels in that capacity and would be the quintessential number 2 in this offense, because I believe Jarvis Landry is your number 1 player or number 1 option for this Dolphins offense moving forward. And I know they got Kenny Stills in the trade, but in my opinion, he's more of a number 3, and that will give them a solid 1-2-3 combo in their passing attack. I like Saquon Edwards out of New Mexico, a guy that played receiver earlier in his Lobos career before moving to cornerback, and so he still has that upside you look for and would be the perfect depth guy to fit in this secondary. With 2 selections in the 5th round, I went with a small school dynamo with the first one, and Christopher Robinson out of Morgan State, a guy that does a great job in getting to the quarterback. He can provide that pressure off the edge. Played defensive end at Morgan State. I think he would be an ideal weak side backer for the Dolphins. With their second, 5th round pick, I went with David Cobb out of Minnesota, adding depth to the backfield. Now, he may not be the flashiest, he may not be the fastest or the most spectacular, but he's a guy that definitely moves the chains and would do a fine job as a complement to Lamar Miller. And finally, in the 6th round, I want to add depth along the interior offensive line, so I was able to grab Trey Jackson out of Florida State, 6'4", 330, a big-bodied interior offensive lineman with outstanding footwork. So let's recap my 2015 NFL mock draft for the Miami Dolphins. And when you look at the selections, I believe I accomplished what I wanted to do with the first 2 selections, coming away with 2 starters. And I do believe Dante Fowler and Vince Mayle can start from day one at their respective positions. And on the back end, the last 4 selections were all depth guys at the cornerback spot, outside backer, running back, and along the offensive line. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Dolphin fan forums for always showing football game plan support.